As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there, and welcome to ForceCenter Presents Figure Fights, the show where we ask the vital question, which Star Wars character would win in a fight, but not the actual character, an action figure, a very specific action figure of that character. I'm Joseph Scrimshaw.
I'm Ken Knapsack, happy to be here today.
Excellent. So happy to be here with you in our separate homes, Ken Knapsack, and absolutely thrilled to continue to have some wonderful guests from Star Wars Explained, Mollie and Alex Damon. Hello to you both.
And we're in our same home.
Same home.
Same home.
And we're getting past any illusion that this is live or recorded every couple weeks, and we're just mostly wearing the same clothes. Alex, I'd like to congratulate you on wearing a shirt that it is impossible to forget episode to episode.
To be fair, I do wear this every day.
Yeah, I would too.
I have 365 of them.
Wow. Not only a very cool shirt, but very clean every day. A different shirt. That is beautiful. So we talked a little bit last time about Alex and Mollie's history with action figures. We had a very brutal battle between the Cloud Car pilot and battle-damaged Anakin Skywalker. I'm very excited to go somewhere a little different with the action figures for this episode. Are you all ready for the reveal?
I am ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Then our matchup today is Deleted Scenes Biggs Darklighter
Oh,
versus 6-inch Black Series Armorer.
Oh, no. What are you doing to me?
Alex is like, oh no, it doesn't stand a chance.
Yep. I wanted to create some strong feelings. The battle damage Anakin Skywalker, that was just the cute beginning. Now we're getting into the real brutal stuff. So let's start with our
Put him up
feelings.
against a Nanoman or something.
Nope, you get him.
Nope. Let's just go straight into Feelings Town because we're already there. We got to start with Alex and Biggs. Talk to me about your feelings about this specific Biggs figure. Do you own it? Do you want to own it? Do you have 365 of them to go with your shirt? Tell me about it.
I do own it. I'll get it in a second. It's back there in my big shrine. I love this figure. It's probably... It's one of my favorite Biggs figures. I love the Orange Rebel Pilot. But I have like 4 different versions of just that. The fact that they made a figure out of his deleted scene in such a great costume, I love that. So that's the power of Biggs. Is even his deleted scenes get action figures. So yeah, I own just. Actually, you know what? I think I own one that I bought, and then people keep sending Biggs figures to us in our PO box. So I do have several that are in the case still. I think I just have one in the case of him in the cape.
That's just a thing of beauty, like picturing the end of Miracle on 34th Street, where all the children have written letters to Santa, but you open your PO box and it's just Biggs is real.
It's that people very nicely are always like, I was at a convention, I saw this, and I wanted to make sure you had it. And I'm like, I promise I have it, but now I have 2 or 3 or 4.
You're building a tiny army of them.
That is awesome. Mollie, you are married to a big Biggs fan. How do you feel about this specific action figure? Is this a favorite for you?
This is definitely, I think, my preferred Biggs action figure. For the cape alone. Come on. He just looks so good. And like Alex said, I love that they made this from a deleted scene. From a movie this old, to have deleted scenes and to have figures made from those deleted scenes is quite a feat. So I'm a big fan. A Biggs fan.
A big Biggs fan. Oh, look at him there. Oh, he's got his glass. Oh, his pants look even better in person.
Honestly, I was just looking at the image on the screen. I was like, he looked more handsome in my mind. And I went and I'm like, yeah, he did.
Because the actual figure has calmer pants. The one in our image, that's alarm pants. But
yeah, they're more orange on screen.
Yeah. Ken, how do you feel about this Biggs figure?
This is one of those ones that, I don't know, maybe I'll go to Alex's PO box and take one because I don't own this, but that packaging and this line I love this line. And that deleted scene is certainly legendary. It is one that was in my mind before I knew what deleted scenes were. I'd read that Star Wars book, right? The pictures, but also the essay, the little, you can read the Star Wars story. And I couldn't understand why I was seeing this. That's Luke, but I couldn't see it in the VHS copy I had, right? I just couldn't connect. And so therefore this look of Biggs is it's just so much of my childhood of wondering, who is that? Where is he? Is that the same guy at the end of the movie? So I love this. I think I need this figure.
Yeah, this is one I do not own, but I covet. This one is on my list. I really like Biggs. I love Alex's love of Biggs. But yeah, I grew up with this character in my mind, reading various books where he was in it, and there was a picture of that scene. And then it had been so long since I saw the movie. By the time I was on television and I had it on VHS, I was like, why'd they cut out White Jacket Biggs? I forgot he wasn't in the film. And so I like him, and I'm glad there's more of him in special edition. I'd be happy to have other Biggs figures, but this one, it goes so hard. In a deleted scene from the first film, he's got a jacket as cool as Han Solo's Empire Strikes Back jacket. He's got a cape as cool as Darth Vader's jacket. Like this is arguably more cool than he should even be. This is insanely bonkers cool. Cape and jacket. Come on.
Blaster and mustache. He's got all, you're right, Joseph. He's got all the ingredients of Star Wars.
He's got it all.
It makes me wonder why he's friends with Luke.
Because he's a great guy. He defends Wormy.
He also looks a lot older than Luke, but maybe that's the stash.
That's true.
I don't know.
I've always looked at it as Biggs is like the senior when Luke was a freshman, and then Biggs went around the world and came back. He had a new sense of fashion, probably has a new worldview and perspectives, and he's going back to his hometown. And he's got his buddy, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be there with me. Come on, you're gonna get out of this town." And he's worldly. He's galaxy-ly.
He's very galaxy-ly. And that's the other thing that I like about this outfit is like, maybe if he didn't want to hurt Luke's feelings, he didn't have to go this hard. He didn't have to come back with that cool of a cape and that cool of a jacket and be like, kid, this is what you're missing out on in the galaxy.
Luke didn't seem taken aback by that, though. I think that's just how he dresses all day, every day. He goes hard.
Biggs was like the guy in high school that they were like, that's Biggs, old capey. He wears that cape all the time. Yeah, he's the stylish one. He's going to go to New York one day. You watch. He'll be in New York. Yep.
He can make anything look cool.
Biggs making things look cool again. All right. Speaking of looking cool, let's move on to our feelings about the 6-inch Black Series Armorer. Ken, I'll start with you this time. How do you feel about this action figure? Do you own it? Do you want to?
Don't own it because of my change in collecting habits over the last couple of years. But this is one of the ones that you look at it and you go, but I kind of do need that. I like you and a lot of folks, Joseph. I love the armor, and what I love about the armor is what we don't know about the armor. And this figure just reminds me of that. This is the armor, and I can't get a read on her, and I love it. And it's the detail, the sculpt is good. All those kind of wonderful figure-y collector terms, they're all there on this figure. The design, colors, the weapons, the posability. Look at this pose. This is just like she's swinging at you. I love everything about this figure.
Yeah, she looks like she's doing a Vanity Fair photo shoot, and she's gonna murder the photographer.
The band. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so great. Molly, how do you feel about the figure?
I love the Armorer figures, and I also like that her name is just the Armorer. That's all we get. We get to get an actual name. Can't take the helmet off to see what she looks like because that wouldn't work out well for her. And I love her design. The fur around her shoulders looks really, really good. The little spikes on the helmet. Who knows what that means? It just looks really cool. But yeah, she looks badass all the time. Yeah,
totally agreed. Alex?
It's fine. I will leave. I will check my bias at the door. It's a great action figure. I also love the armor as a character. She's so mysterious at the start, and then the more you know, like I have real mixed feelings about her now, but I love seeing her on screen and like can't wait to see her interact with other people. So hallmark of a good character. The figure looks great. You could have gone with the 3 1/4 3/4 inch or 3 3/4 inch instead of the 6-inch Joseph to put up against Biggs. But
look,
the bias is strong.
A man with a jacket and a cape. Look, he's already got a lot of advantage. So needed to go big with the armor. Yeah, I agree with what everybody said. I absolutely love the character. I love to be fascinated by the character. To sometimes think, I don't agree with this character. Or maybe I agree with that part, but we don't know. Oh, fascinating. Maybe we will know a lot more by the time we actually air this episode. But the figure, I only don't have it because I'm trying to hold back. I have the vintage and I have the retro. So I have 2 armorers in my home. And what I love about the figure, but also the design of the armor, is they've been doing a great job in The Mandalorian of coming up with different twists on the basic Mandalorian look. But I think she's the one where they knocked it out of the park. The fur, the horns, the sort of like, I'm working here apron.
What do you
the
need?
fact that she doesn't just look like a completely badass warrior, which she is, but like everything about her image is tied to her identity of like in a society that worships weapons and armor, the blacksmith is the authority. Is just so cool that that's baked into her look.
Yeah.
All right. So we know a lot about our feelings, particularly Alex, about Biggs, about Cape Biggs. So let's take a look at some stats. As always, these stats come to us from the great website, galacticfigures.com. We're going to look at Biggs' stats. He is, like a lot of the figures we're going to end up talking about, from the 30th anniversary collection, the one where the toy makers pointed outside of the stadium and then hit the ball real hard on that entire line. The scale is 3.75. He was released 2007. His joint count is 10. He's got a ball-jointed neck, 2 ball-jointed shoulders, 2 ball-jointed elbows, 2 swivel wrists, a swivel waist, and 2 swivel hips. His accessory details are he's got a blaster, he's got a removable soft goods cape, and a coin. Very important for battle. Yep. Coin might come into play. And galacticfigures.com has these details, this analysis of the figure. It says Biggs in this particular outfit is based on deleted scenes from the original Star Wars movie. The figure can hold the blaster well in both hands, and it's a good fit for the holster. The soft goods cape is removable. The vest, which has no sleeves, the sleeves are painted onto the arms, is removable. Biggs stands well without help from a stand. Okay, vest. What's going on?
I'm
Alex,
looking at the figure right now. I was like, wait, what?
Expert canon analysis about vests and jacket of Biggs on this action
So it's
figure.
like a 2-in-1 vest and jacket, but you can only take the vest part off of him.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted it to look a little bit like a little extra texture here on the chest because you can open the jacket a little bit.
Okay,
I had no idea you could take it off.
Ken, do you think that's just for? Is that just for the figure, or do you think in the canon of Star Wars, if he gets too hot on Tatooine, he can rip his sleeves off?
Oh, absolutely.
That feels like something that Biggs could be able to pull off, like literally and metaphorically.
I always believe that style knows no weather conditions. You must rise above the weather conditions to maintain your style. But Biggs, you got twin sons. He's worked that into his style.
He's got twin guns.
Yeah. Welcome to the Twin Guns show, says Biggs. Amazing. All right, here are the stats for the armor. She is from the toy line Star Wars, the Black Series 6-inch. Her scale is 6 inches. She was released 2020, joint count 17. 1 ball-jointed top neck, 1 ball-jointed lower neck, 2 ball-jointed shoulders, 2 ball-jointed elbows, 2 ball-jointed wrists, 1 ball-jointed upper body, 2 ball-jointed hips, 2 swivel thighs, 2 ball-jointed knees, 2 ball-jointed ankles. That's a lot of ball joints. Accessory details: 1 short pair of pliers, 1 hammer, 1 removable plastic fur.
Wow.
Love things like that. 1 fur, please. 1 order of fry. 1 fry.
I would like a removable plastic fur, please. Is that a short pair of pliers? Anyway, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Well,
It's pretty long.
I feel like they could reach a lot of places, and they will in our fight. Here's the details from galacticfigures.com. The armor is able to hold both accessories well in her hands. The figure's Mandalorian helmet is not removable. The only removable part on the armor is the plastic fur around the neck. The sculpt and the paint application looks great all around. The figure stands well on display without falling over. All right, we know our feelings. It is time to figure fight. We're going to take into account their size, their outfits, and their fists, their accessories. You know what, Alex? We will start with you. You can begin your onslaught. How do you think
know
this
how
fight
this
goes?
is going to go already.
Oh, really? I don't think you do.
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna pull the coin into play as an accessory.
Ooh.
I think he is going to tempt the armorer. He's gonna have to get her on the back foot somehow. She's almost twice his size. He's got a blaster, but she's wearing Beskar armor. Like, he needs to find something to distract her with. He can offer up the coin as Beskar and at least get her to analyze it. Maybe she's taking a look at it. While she's doing that, he can take off his removable cape, which I also didn't know could happen. Take off all of his removable clothes, and he can like wrap it around her helmet, try to blind her or something. That might be how he could start to get an advantage. I think that's his only hope.
That's a beautiful image of him taking off his cape and trying to throw it real high in the air to get it over the armor's head. Mollie, I'm curious to see if you think trying to tell the armorer that the coin is Beskar is very clever, but do you think that's somehow going to make her less violent toward Biggs?
Yeah, I don't know if she would fall for that. But in my head, which was what I was sure Alex was going to say, was that Biggs is going to sweet talk her into letting him live, I guess. I know this is supposed to be a fight, but like, if anyone could sweet talk the armorer, it would have to be Biggs. Now, tiny, half her size Biggs might have a little bit harder time. But maybe he could get a stool to stand
Maybe
on.
he could offer his services as like a style consultant. The armor, I mean, she makes so much armor, and
for like others, got it.
Yeah, like if some Mandalorian comes in and he's like, I want something unique that makes me stand out, like that guy over there, and then Biggs is that guy in the corner, and he's like, well, let's talk. What do you want to look like?
I just imagine him being the only one that could sweet talk that helmet off of her head.
Amazing. See, I think all these things are good approaches, but there's something about the armor. I think they only make her more mad. I think he sweet talks her, and she kind of leans in. And he gets the point of like, hey, have you ever considered, making a Mandalorian helmet and then at a Beskar putting a mustache on it, and wham, the hammer comes down.
I think we're both, Mollie, I appreciate you trying to find a way around the fight as well, because I think we know that against 6-inch Black Series Beskar plastic fur-wearing armor with a hammer and pliers.
Yeah.
I think we know how this fight's going to end.
They're short players. Ken, where do you go with this?
I love what both Alex and Mollie are trying to do here. I think there's a lot to what's happening, but look at the, again, the armor, even in figure form, if you're like trying to sweet talk her, she's going to be like, you're trying to flirt with me. That is not the way of the Mandalore. And she's going to shut that down. You try to throw a cape over her, those pliers are coming up, and she's got the 2.5-inch advantage almost. She's going to grab the cape. And I think Biggs is this is someone who took up a cause and took action and joined a rebellion. He's not afraid to go into the fight. I think he doesn't want to, like a true rebel, like maybe even that Jedi spirit, but I think he realizes at some point it's go time. It's go time.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say for Biggs for myself. I think he's a climber. I think he is not socially. I think he's a very sincere, kind guy. But one of my just powerful memories of Biggs is an early picture of him that I think is in one of those books. I don't know if this is accurate, but it's true in my mind. He's got that bent knee. He's kind of really like doing the horizon look with the leg up, right?
Yes. No, that's the image I have of Biggs in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, it might even be the image on his card where he's got a little bit of that. I'm looking up, right? Yeah, look at that. That's him looking at the armor. Going, I can take her.
Oh God,
I can fix her.
So I actually think that he does manage to climb her. The weakness of some of that armor is it's got a lot of places for footholds, and he's got a lot of joints, so he's better at climbing than some figures. So I think he climbs up, and I think he does actually manage to pull her helmet off, and underneath is another smaller helmet.
It's not rook cast or anything. It's another helmet.
It's another helmet. I love that. His hands are even already kind of in climbing position. He's got a little hook hands.
He's got he does have little hooks for him in there. One for the blaster. What is this other? What is his left hand doing? It's almost like he's, dare I say, eating pudding with his fingers. That's not good. Wow.
Do you think his pudding fingers gives him an advantage? Is there anywhere that he can hook them and do? Can he pull arm? Get his fingers in her armor and yank?
Well, like the only thing on the figure itself he could remove is the plastic fur. So I don't know.
That's part of her identity, so it's going to throw her off a little. The figure is going to be lost without that fur, even though it's removable. It's so part of her.
Yeah, did she take an extra vow of I will never take my fur off?
Yeah, the fur is the way of the Mandalore.
I think the capes are the first to go, and on both characters, they're both removable. And I like this is Biggs looking his best, but maybe his worst in a fight, because it's like the Edna from The Incredibles rule. That's easily grabbed by those giant pliers. He needs to get the cape off if there's any hope of victory here.
It's like a hair pulling fight, except with capes.
Yeah, it
always starts that way.
They both yank the capes and like, all right, game recognized game. Now what's next? I think that that Biggs also does have his blaster, right? So he can fire away. He can whip it out of the holster. He's got a holster hand and a pudding hand.
I apologize for entering that into record.
It's true. It's a very weird little he's like, come here. I don't know what it is. Mollie, do you think the blaster does him any good against the armor covered in Beskar?
Covered in Beskar, yeah. That makes it a lot harder, I think, for him. Even if I imagine he's very good with the blaster, but I don't think that's going to offer him much help against someone covered in Beskar. Although
it's
she's
just
got
the
a couple
chest,
of
really, chest and helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that apron thing that she's wearing has any Beskar on it. So
that's pretty crucial. Is her work apron Beskar? What do you think, Ken?
This is a great question. I even have watching Mando with all the other Mandalorians, even Boba Fett. Like, he's got some strong armor, but he's got a lot of room around the shoulders and armpits, right? Like, her knees, does she have Beskar knee pads underneath those pants? I don't know. Ooh. So I think there are some weak spots. You got to know as a Mando, you got to know when to turn into it, right? That's what Din Djarin struggled with when he's dressed as the Imperial in the Believer episode. Like, oh crap, this isn't working. So they got those skills, but Biggs didn't join the rebellion with no skills. I think he knows where to hit. At least try.
He knows how to blast a knee. So we think Biggs is just blasting away at Armor's knees.
Yeah, if he can get her down a couple inches, then it might be a slightly more fair fight.
Yeah, he's right at knee length too for her. Just
yeah. You're about right. Oh, look at those pudding fingers. Anyways, yeah.
Mollie, so we've talked a lot about how Biggs could desperately try to do something to the armor, and so far in our fight, she's just like kind of letting him flail. What does the armor do to him besides take his cape?
I mean, I hate to imagine her just taking him out with that hammer, but that seems to be her go-to move.
She's so good with it.
Just gonna bonk him like a weasel popping up in a video game. Just boop.
Yeah. Good. Oh yeah, because of the height difference too. It is kind of just like
whack-a-mole. She's whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-Biggs. Yeah. Ken, do you see the armor also whacking a Biggs, or how else might she attack him?
I absolutely think you're right. I think she comes over top, and I think she gets one shot in. I'm not saying that's the end of Biggs. He's strong. He's resilient. But yes, absolutely. She knows how to wield it. Again, the cape's off. He's thrown the cape at her. He's flirted with her. All these kind of things. And he's charming. And he's other than, Selleck in 79 to 82, it's the only mustache to work in history is this Biggs mustache. So, I think, though, she gets at least one shot in. And where from there we go, I don't know. But
that might be all it takes. I know this is extremely hard for you to answer, Alex, but how do you think the armor attacks Biggs?
I mean, I think all of you are being incredibly kind for my sake. But yeah, I think Hammer, maybe she even uses the pliers to pick him up. You know, in Book of Boba Fett, actually, that 6-armed monster picks up Boba and then like gives him a punch. Maybe she uses the pliers to lift him up and then give him a whack with the hammer.
Yeah, especially if he got a shot in at any place that wasn't armored, and she picks him up and picks the exact spots on his body that he hit on her.
No.
Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. Yep.
Yeah. I hope it's only the kneecaps she's hitting. Oh man.
Face on the action figure right now looks like, what are you talking about?
Why are you doing this to me? I just went to give the kids some advice. Leave me alone. Yeah, she's really she's gonna put the deleted scene of Biggs here. All right, any other thoughts, or shall we go to the vote?
We can go.
Are you prepared for this?
I think we knew how this was going to go the second I saw it.
In my soul, I'm trying to scramble for one more Biggs point. Like I'm trying to give him something.
Yeah,
I'm looking dead into his face, and I'm trying to come up with it.
The biggest advantage he has is his range weapon. The fact that he does have a blaster. It's just that, is the armor going to be quick enough to put her Beskar into whatever direction?
Do the shimmy shake. Yeah,
she's got a lot of ball joints.
That's true.
She can move pretty fast. She's got 2 swivel thighs.
She can just do a split and go right down to his level.
Yeah, you almost turned that into a Sesame Street song, Joseph, which I love. Now I'll always remember 2 ball jointed hips, 2 swivel thighs. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swivel thighs.
The joint detail song from Sesame Street would make me so happy. All right, let's get into our vote. Let's get into our final picture. Ken, I'd like to start with you. Who wins and why? How?
It's the armor. It's the armor. I can't add anything else to it other than it's the armor. I think Biggs tries. It's the 3 3/4 versus 6 inch. He was up against a giant, and that was tough. His charm was the best way to go. That was the right approach. Just not gonna work out.
I think what Ken is saying, Hasbro, is we need a 6-inch black series of Biggs Darklighter. So make this a fair fight. Wedge got one. It's time for Biggs.
Yep. Give us a 6-inch Biggs with Beskar crotch. Keep him perfectly safe.
Keep the pudding fingers.
Keep the pudding fingers, yeah.
Pudding fingers. Sorry.
I love that this is. Go ahead, Ken.
No, that figure, I'm blown away that that's a 3 3/4. The 2007 line is amazing. But if you would just show me the picture, I'd be like, oh, they did a 6-inch. But no.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's my vision. You've convinced me a little bit. I do think that charm is a part of it. I am actually going to say that Biggs can pull this out. I think that Biggs can find victory. I think he tries charm. It doesn't quite work. I think she uses the short pliers and grabs the mustache. Just starts pulling. But then Biggs is cool about it, right? He doesn't even scream, which already impresses her. And then he reveals what the pudding fingers are actually for. He looks her straight in the eyes. He brings up his pudding fingers, and he just tosses his hair a little bit. Because look at that action figure. I think that's what the pudding fingers are for. If you can bring that figure up, Ken.
Yeah, he's got a little hair.
Look at that hair. He runs those pudding fingers through his hair. That's how it gets that cool look. And
Absolutely.
I think based on how cool his hair is, how could you resist that? That would make me stop fighting.
This is great action right there, Alex. That's wonderful.
So that is my vote. I think Biggs can use his charm hair to get the armor to spare his life. It's not really a victory. He just doesn't die. Mollie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do love that. And I'm imagining it's not pudding fingers, it's hair gel fingers, and he's just like,
yeah,
swiping it through.
Mustache wax.
Yeah. Also, I think if his mustache got ripped off, he would just immediately grow another one, like just poop, like it would just show up.
Okay. Again,
doesn't even have to concentrate. He doesn't even have to.
Nope, just automatic. I think, I think the armor is going to take this one, but I will also say, instead of just smashing his head in with the hammer, I think she comes just close enough to where he thinks it's all going to be over, and she spares him, but makes him admit that he was bested in the fight. So she wins the fight, but then she's like, let's go make you that helmet out of that coin. Be the tiniest mustached,
tiniest Mandalorian,
new member.
So the coin, the coin is Beskar.
Sure.
Yeah, and I love the idea that he would be this very weird Mandalorian. We're like, why do you have a warped image of your own face on your helmet? Does that count as showing your face if you have a warped coin image of your face on your helmet?
That's his signet, is his own face.
His mustache clan. Yeah, I love it. Ken, we have had a vote for Biggs. Wait a minute. I've got who all has talked. I voted.
I need to go.
Oh,
armor,
yeah.
Armor for me.
Armor for me. Yes. So 2 armors, 1 Biggs. Alex.
I think everyone's being very, very nice. I mean, the second you showed me the matchup and I was like 6-inch Black Series armor, like the immediate image I had was the armor kicking Biggs and like that action figure flying away. I don't think he has any chance in an actual fight. I think even Joseph is admitting that he has to get out of it through charm and not actual battle. And this is a figure fight. I will put my bias away. There's no chance in hell Biggs wins this.
In the graphic you just had up with the both of them, it just says deleted Biggs. He's already deleted.
Deleted Biggs.
He's
yes.
Deleted.
Deleted Biggs has lived up to his name, and our victor for this episode of Figure Fights is the Armorer. Big.
If I had a hammer, I would wave it in the air.
Don't clap. Don't clap for this.
It was a beautiful, painful battle. We've already have one moral, which is Hasbro. You need to make a Black Series Biggs. Ken, do you have any other thoughts about the moral? What we learned in this episode?
I think there is, you can go a long way with style and substance, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's all all you need to go forward. And Biggs has a lot going for him, but he just ran up to, at some point, you have to learn the bigger opponent, and that's going to be okay.
Yep. There's always a bigger figure. Yes. Mollie, do you have an idea for a moral?
I think the moral of this story is to always try to sweet talk your way out of a fight. Mustache or no mustache, just give it a shot. You never know what'll happen.
That is a very good moral. Alex, you already had the great moral of, hey, make a 6-inch Biggs, but since Biggs is your guy, I want to close out with your moral.
I will apologize to Yoda and say that sometimes size matters.
We learned a lot of lessons that we can all take to our lives and improve our place in the world. That is Figure Fights. Feel free to let us know your pick to win in the comments in this extremely low stakes imaginary battle. Do you think Biggs' charm can make him undeleted? Let us know. As Luke Skywalker once said, while no one was really listening to him, I care. That's it for Figure Fights.
Thanks for watching ForceCenter. To follow us on Twitter, reach out at ForceCenter Pod. We're on Hive Social at ForceCenter. On Instagram, we are at ForceCenter Pod. Our Facebook page is ForceCenter Podcast. The podcast is available in a lot of different spots like Acast, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Just search, you'll find us. Want ForceCenter merch? Go to tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. Want to support us directly? You can at patreon.com/ForceCenter. For social links for the hosts and guests of ForceCenter, check the links in the description below. That's it for now. We'll see you next time here on ForceCenter.